almost like springtime outside. I'm going to start working on the Yamaha again. You know, where we left off working on this thing, the temperature was up there pretty warm and it was comfortable in here, but over the winter it's been really cold in here, and right now we're almost up to 50 degrees inside, so that's enough for me to work out here. That's comfortable enough. So anyway, we were working on turn signals, and I had bought these LED neat little turn signals that I was going to put on here, but I ran into some issues. The front turn signals, there wasn't, you know, look at, you see there's like a threaded thing on there. I would have had to make some kind of a bracket up here for them and run the wires down. And I thought about drilling a hole through there, but, you know, somebody told me, said, don't be drilling holes in there and screwing it all up. And I was really kind of wondering how I was going to do this. And then on the rear, this is where the original turn signal's mounted, so I'd have to drill that hole out to get that to mount in there like that. But then, you know, and I read everybody's comments, and there was a lot of comments and a lot of helpful comments. One of them said, well, in order for these to work right, see, these have 2 leads on them, and the original, let's see if I can. Here's the original. So there's only one for each, one right and one left. So I'd have to use find a ground for one of these wires, and then somebody else said we're going to need a load suppressor or they're not going to work right. So that being said, I went online and I ordered 4 load suppressors, one for each turn signal. And then I thought, oh man, you know, where are these going to go now? How are these going to all fit in there? Well, then somebody else said, hey, Itchy, why don't you leave it original? You know, quit. You know, don't put the LEDs on it. Go back to the original turn signals. Well, the ones that I had, the original ones on here were shot, completely worthless. So I was able to go onto this site, and it's called Yambits, and it's from Great Britain, but they sell all OEM Yamaha parts, and they have a lot of cool stuff on there. I was able to go on there and find the exact original turn signals that mount on there, and see they only have the one wire on them. So it's just a matter of putting them together and fitting it all on there. The front turn signals don't have the bracket, but I can use the original bracket that goes with them. And so I've cleaned this up, and then I went to Home Depot and I bought the metric bolts that thread into there, so I can mount that back onto the handlebars in the proper location, and it'll be back to stock again, you know, like it originally came. So I'm going to work on that today and see what I can get done. Now, the first thing I need to do is get the old bracket mounted onto the new turn signal and get it set up in the right location. And I'm going to lock that on there. This is the bottom bracket that will go on like that around the handlebar. And then I got these metric bolts from Home Depot. Those will thread right in there like that, and they got a hex head So let me get these mounted on the front handlebar. And then I just need to feed this wire back down to the headlight. And I hope it's long enough. Should be, because it is an OEM part. Okay. Well, there's one. Then I'm going to have to take the headlight off and feed that wire up in there and find the right connection for it. And hope that everything works right. On the rear, it feeds all the way through to behind the fender, so I had to put this long bolt in there without the turn signal, but with the turn signal I should be able to feed it right through there. Oh boy, well now I'm stumped. This bolt I took out of there is a standard thread, and of course this is a metric thread, and as you can see there's no nut for it. So I got to dig around and see if I can find the right nut for it. I think I bought these at Home Depot a little while ago. Let's see if one of those will work. Yep, yeah, and I've got two of them, so cool. And there's the rear turn signal on that side. All right, now I come into another issue. The threaded part on this isn't quite long enough to fit all the way through there to get this nut started. I mean, it just barely comes through the back. And of course you can thread this in and out of the actual turn signal, but if I thread it out anymore, it just pulls right out. So I have to have at least 5 turns in there for it to get it tight enough, you know, where I can mount it. All right, turn signals are mounted on the rear of the bike where they're supposed to be. I did run into some problems though. That threaded shaft that the wire went through the middle of it was short. It was maybe about a ½ inch too short. So on the fender, I had bought these rubber grommets that were supposedly OEM parts that, you know, go in between the fender and the frame for vibration. And you'll see they're about a ½ inch thick. So I had to take those out, and then the turn signals fit on. So apparently this wasn't, even though this was supposedly sent to me as the OEM bushing for that, I couldn't get it to work. Now the other problem I run into now is that these new turn signals, the wire, as you see, here's the connector over here, and here's the wire here, so I'm about maybe 6 inches too short there. And I don't have any wire. This one runs out under the fender. So it's like I don't remember how that goes. I'm going to have to run that up, I guess through, there's a little bracket there that it hangs in. I'm going to have to get an extension wire to go from here over to here. I tried running these wires from the front headlight, or turn signal I mean, into the front headlight, and they're just about an inch too short. You know, it never goes easy, but hey, that's all part of the challenge, I guess. So I got to do that on the rear tail lights, and I have to do that on the front turn signals too. Tail lights, I mean turn signals, yeah. So, but anyway, here's the, of course you see, LaDonna, I've been using the new tripod. It works out very well for me. Turn signals look good. I mean, that's starting to look very much original. So, if I can get that wired up, which I'm sure I can, it's just another challenge I have to deal with. Well, this week we're looking at temperatures up almost to 60 degrees. I'm very thankful that I've got the chimney cleaned out up there. It works very well now. No more smoke. And I'm going to keep up with that a little more regularly. I'm going to try burning some of those logs you guys recommended. I read reviews on them and they said, you know, they weren't all that great. But I'll try it anyway because it might help. But it's been staying nice and toasty in the house, and as you can see, I don't have to wear a jacket outside today. It's February, which we should have 3 feet of snow right now, but it's like springtime. It's remarkable. This past week has been kind of a rough one for me. You know, I had this laser surgery done on my teeth on this side. And what happened was the doctor told me that some of the plaque had gotten down below the gum line, and it starts to cause like an infection, and the bone starts to deteriorate. He said if you don't take care of it, eventually you lose your teeth. Well, I don't want to lose my teeth, so I went in there and had him do it. And it was about a 45-minute kind of a surgical procedure. They put all kinds of injections in this side of my mouth and numbed up the whole side of my face. And then they go in with this laser tool, and you can hear it like bzzz, and you can kind of smell the burnt bone or whatever. And they take all the infection out with that. And then they go back in and scrape all of the debris out of there, and then they kind of cauterize the gum back up with that laser tool. It's an interesting process, but I didn't realize how intense it was going to be. For the last 2 days, my jaw has been real stiff and sore, and doctor said I cannot eat any solid foods, liquids only for 3 days. Well, this is day 3, and so after today, tomorrow I finally get to eat some solid foods, but he said nothing crunchy. So he said no nuts, no raw vegetables, no granola. He said don't even eat like toast or chips or anything like that that can, you know, let that gum heal. You don't want to, so he said only soft foods. So tomorrow I get to start on soft foods instead of liquids. So, I mean, liquids kind of stink and really it includes anything that you can swallow without chewing. So I've been able to, have some pudding. Uh, I had some. I made some cream of wheat this morning, but I made it like real, where I could almost drink it. Not, I didn't. I don't have to chew it, and not my regular diet. I'll tell you that. So it's been a little tough. Uh, Other things I've had, some yogurt, and the yogurt I bought strawberry yogurt, thinking, okay, that's just going to be creamy. Well, there's chunks of strawberry in there, and one of the things he told me was, don't try to eat strawberries because they got little seeds in them, and I don't want any of those seeds getting in your gums over there. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to eat this yogurt, but I'm not going to chew it. I'm just going to swallow the chunks of strawberry without chewing them. So, oh boy, it's been one heck of a process. So, yeah, I think I showed you in my last video. I got this whole list of things I can and can't eat. Um, don't chew gum, eat candy, cookies, chips, nuts, anything hard, crunchy, anything that has seeds or hard pieces. Meat that shreds can lodge under your gums and between the teeth. Raw vegetables or salads. Yeah, and then I got this whole side of instructions. So, joy, joy. I'm on the mend, though. He said it could take up to 2 weeks before I could eat normally again. But he said, kind of take it easy. Don't chew hard on that side of your mouth, because he said sometimes it takes a long time for that stuff to heal. And of course, when you got bone that has to heal, that can take up to a year. But I'm not waiting a year to get back to my eating habits. Anyway, guys, thanks for all your support. And thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for giving me the thumbs up, and thanks for your subscriptions to my videos. I'm keeping all you guys in my prayers. As you guys know, 2 weeks ago my mom passed away, so I've been doing okay with that. I got like a whole bunch of nice cards back there from family and friends, and it seems like every day I've been getting more. My brothers have been getting cards too. Some of my brothers are taking it pretty hard, losing their mom. For me, it's not that bad because, of course, just a little bit over a year ago, I lost my wife. And I had to deal with that grieving process, which was really tough. Losing my mom, not as bad as losing my wife, to me anyway. But to at least 2 of my brothers have taken it very hard, and they're just trying to mend with their grief and their mourning over loss of my mom. Thanks for all of your support on that, all of your condolences, really highly appreciated. So again, moving on, and I'm looking forward to spring. I'm looking forward to summer again, when I'll be able to get the bike out here pretty soon. In fact, I could ride today, and I saw some Harleys out on the road even yesterday. But I was in town, and here comes the guy on his Harley, shiny, looks like it's brand new, right off the showroom floor, and he's wearing a little thin jacket, and it was 38 degrees, and I'm thinking, okay, you just bought the bike and you had to go for a ride around the block, because I know he didn't go any distance. He didn't have a helmet or a hat or anything either. And I'm thinking, 38 degrees, my gosh. If you go anything over, 35, 40 mile an hour, you're frostbitten right now. So I think he was just taking a putt-putt through town to show off his new bike and kind of pretend that he was out riding when he probably just circled around the block and pulled it right back in the garage. I don't know, but that's kind of the impression that I got when I saw him sitting there, and I thought it really kind of looks out of place because there's a lot of salt on the roads right now, and it might be dry, but you'll see the salt dust coming up when is from the cars, and it'll stick to your bike statically. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy bought a brand new bike, and there he is out getting salt on it. Great. That's not very smart. So we get a couple of good rains, but we haven't had any rain since the last snow. Excuse me. No rain since the last snow, and the salt is still on the road, so bike won't come out. Maybe and it doesn't look like rain the rest of the week either, with high temperatures up there too. So it's very tempting to ride, and go ahead if you want. I'm not stopping you, but I don't want the salt on my bike. I'm sorry. I've been there, done that, and I'm not gonna deal with that again. All right, cats. Well, thanks for watching. Until next time, guys, ride hard and die free.